Thank you so much. How are we? We good? Yes? Yeah. Fuck yeah, it's Friday night, it's rainy, you're all here. Thank you, the good reaction to that. You're all here and you went, yeah, what do you want from me? It's London, we have to do something. I paid £10 million for a flat, Brexit. Can't live there. How are you, sir? You're all right. You have excellent front of the show energy. I could have talked to you, sir, with your floppy hair and art dealer sensibility. But I talked to this man who I assume works in accounts. He dreamed of being a painter, but no brush. What is your name, brother?
Emil.
Emil?
Yes.
I like how you said that slowly, assuming I couldn't pronounce it. And you are right. Thank you. And Emil, how was your day? Long. I fear to ask how his year was. Just start singing a Leonard Cohen song. For those of you that didn't laugh, we're in the West End. You have to laugh at a joke like that, even though it doesn't make sense. If not, you'll be written about in Time Out if it was 1990. I just had a stroke. Now. Ever been hit by a car? Not yet. I've asked that question to a lot of people, and that's the best answer I've ever gotten. You just... I don't even know where to... Well, I have. I've prepared a show about it, and here we go. Yeah, so you've never been hit by a car. Let me explain how it kind of goes. It's a very odd situation, because I don't remember being hit. I was just on my bike here in London, and then suddenly I wasn't on my bike, and yet I remained in London. And I was just lying on the pavement on Seven Sisters Road in North London, and the car that had hit me, it didn't stop. It's an odd thing to describe. It sort of paused in front of me. A pause I think a lot of you would actually recognize. It's a pause you usually experience at like a Sainsbury's or a Tesco's when you're using the automated checkout machine, and the machine asks you, how many bags have you used? And you look over at your 7 bags, and then you pause and hit 0 bags. It was a hit and run, is what happened. And the car just took the fuck off. And you have a quiet confidence to you that I am actually quite envious of. You can be in a bad mood. I asked you how your day was. You said long with authority. I could be bleeding from the head, and someone would go, how was your day? And I went, well, I learned that there's veins in there, so that's a plus. I don't have that. When I was hit by a car, I did not blame the driver initially. For a moment, I blamed myself. I lay there in the road going, well, you deserve that, because you don't look good on a bike, and I don't look good on a bike. Like you, sir, would look fucking tremendous on a bike. Like you're off to get coffee with with Chloe and Kiki, and they're back from Spain. And I fucking nailed that too, because he just nodded going, you know Kiki? I fucking wish I had your energy. I don't. If I'm on a bicycle, I just look like a guy who's been caught drinking and driving so many times. He now has to ride a bicycle. And here's the issue with the car accident. I have no memory of getting hit by the car. I know I was hit by the car, but I don't remember it, so it doesn't feel tangible. It doesn't feel real, because memory is a bit of a fucking asshole, if we're honest. There's certain things it just decides, oh, you'll remember that, so you'll know that you did it. And then there's other things you don't remember doing, so you're pretty sure you did them, but you don't know. Best example is, I never remember locking the front door of my house. So yeah, same again. I saw your nod going, mm-hmm. All my things are gone. It's a nightmare. But then there's other things I never remember doing, but I always know that I've done them. Like I never remember wiping my asshole after a shit, but I know that I have. And I've pushed this to the bounds of reason, brothers and sisters. Once in university, I had some alcoholic beverages, and one thing led to another, and I ended up taking a shit in my laundry hamper. Yeah, I'm not proud of it. And yet who just said respect? Thank you. This section, you're great. You'll be known as Mom. You guys are scornful and rude. You'll be Dad. And that is the explanation of why I'm a comedian. Now listen, And even though I was so drunk I took a shit in my laundry hamper, I still had the presence of mind to go and retrieve toilet paper. That's actually when I realized there was a problem as I was depositing dirty toilet paper into a clean toilet from a standing position. It dawned on me, oh goodness, there might have been an incident somewhere. Now it's Friday night, and some of you might get a bit drunk tonight, and you might find yourself in a situation where you need to be sober in a moment. And some people will tell you, oh, drink some coffee or drink some water. They are lying. If you want to be sober in a moment, just get a turd and hide it somewhere in your house. Now, to answer the next question that I can feel burning through each and every one of your heads is, John, what did you do with the laundry hamper? I threw the hamper and its contents away because we live in a society, and a society has rules. And I think the most important of those rules is this: if you shit on something, that's no one's. If you pee on something, then you own it forever. Using this logic, I technically own Trafalgar Square, and a woman named Heidi technically owns me. What's that story, John? I will tell you. I was sleeping with a woman named Heidi, in the sexual sense, and she was on top of me, you know what I mean? The cowgirl style, I believe it's called. Are you familiar with it, sir? What a nervous reaction that was. For those of you in the back, allow me to do what he did when I said, are you familiar with that sexual position? He went, So she's on top, right? And I'm laying on the bed having a bit of a rest, you know what I mean? Oh, you guys didn't know that's why men prefer that position? So we can just go, my hips aren't burning any longer. She's on top, and she looks at me in the face and she goes, John, I'm going to try something. Now, I'm always very nervous when there's any sort of chat during sex, because I'm not very good at talking during sex. Like, you probably fucking awesome at it. I'm gonna try something. Why would you? We're all dead at the end of this anyway. Again, I wish I had your confidence. I don't. I try and be witty. Like the first time I ever slept with an English woman, we were on a night bus. I wasn't fucking on the night bus. You finger on the night bus. What are you, children? Now. Yeah, that sounded way better in my head than when I... Good, we'll keep going. Now, we're on a night bus, right? And we're going back to her flat. Sort of midway through the journey, she leaned in and she whispered in my ear. She just went, oh, John, when we get back to my flat, I'm going to go down on you. And it was sort of like chaste but dirty, you know, and I wanted to respond in kind. So for some unknown reason, I affected a Laurence Olivier-esque accent and just responded with, well, indeed you are, madam. So when I was with Heidi and she said to me, I'm going to try something, I want to tell all of you here in the Soho Theater that I said, sure. What I did say was, okie dokie, artichoke. And then she hovered over me like she was using garden furniture she didn't trust the integrity of. And her face had passion and love, and then it evaporated and turned into fear, and then she peed all... You knew where this was going! The whole joke started with, this is the story of someone peeing. You can't be shocked! I guess we have a crowd of people that go to a horror movie and then are shocked there's a murderer involved. So she peed all over me. We always think of urination as a very quick bodily function. Turns out, if you're being peed on, it takes quite some time. There's a laugh over there. There was a laugh of recognition. When she was done peeing, she got up off of me, and she lay on the bed as far away from this splash zone as she could get, and as her head hit the pillow, she just said, that's not what I was trying to do. I never found out what she was trying to do. I quickly got out of bed, showered vigorously, yet quickly, returned to her bedroom, kissed her on the forehead, and then we psychically communicated, oh, we'll never see each other again. And we never have. But what was interesting is that as she was peeing on me, it was the thought that hit me. The thought that hit me as she was peeing on me was not yuck or get me out of here. My only thought was, huh, I didn't think this would happen today. I'm always amazed at thoughts in the moment of surprise or shock. Like when I was hit by that car, my thought, well, as we've already discussed, wasn't chase after him. My thought wasn't seek medical attention. As I was laying there on the ground, my only thought was, well, now you know how that pigeon feels. I'll explain. I had hit a pigeon with my bicycle about 3 months before I had been hit by a car. Now here's the interesting thing about pigeons. You say I hit one with a bicycle, and a few people will laugh. Did you hear it? A few people went, because we've just decided that pigeons, fuck them! Rats with wings. And do you know what, sir, do you know why we all hate pigeons? There's a scientific reason. Do you know what it is? Well, I'm going to tell you. Thank you for leading me into this next piece of material. Pigeons are the only species on the planet that are created not by some form of the male and some form of the female, blending their genetic material together to create a new version of that species. Pigeons are created when a man fucks a pack of cigarettes. Now, a lot of you in the back are doubting my science. And how dare you? I've never seen a baby pigeon, but anytime any of us go to a park, what do we see? A man holding a pack of cigarettes, at his feet, hundreds of pigeons. That's not a man being a creep, that's a father visiting his kids. And when I hit the pigeon, I was very nervous. I leaped off my bicycle. Now, the pigeon wasn't dead. It was also not alive. I had a couple of paths in front of me. My first path was to rush this pigeon to a veterinarian hospital and save its life. I didn't really want to do that for a couple of reasons. One, I've seen animals that have been saved by vets. They are not loved. We've all gone to someone's house for dinner. You walk in, ooh, what a lovely cat. No, fuck that cat. 1,700 quid for a new esophagus, doesn't even meow anymore. Just goes muh. And then also, I would have a pet pigeon. And I have looked up who's owned pigeons throughout history. And I do not want to be on that list. Here's the top 3. The best person in the top 3, we'll start with him, is Mike Tyson. Are you aware how bad a list is about to get? When you started off with the punchy rapey man from the 90s. The best thing you can say about Mike Tyson is he's not O.J. Simpson. That's all I'm saying. Thank you this side for doing the reading. You guys, let's pick it the fuck up! Number 2, Miguel Noriega, dictator of Panama, murderer of thousands. And the number 1 owner of pigeons is Gilles Duras, who's the financial sponsor of Joan of Arc, and a pedophile so aggressive, the Catholic Church burned him at the stake. Let's just take a moment and muse about how big a pedophile you have to be for the Catholic Church to step in and go, all right, easy, big fella. So I decided to walk a darker path with my pigeon friend. I decided to put the pigeon out of its misery. Now here's the problem. I don't know how to kill things, so I just elected to stomp on the pigeon until it was dead. Oh, sorry, I'm not a murderer like all of you. If you brought a cow in here right now and said, John, prepare this cow for cooking, I would just set it on fire. Sitting there in your London judgment of me, I wouldn't stomp a pigeon to death. I would just leave it there and then later blame the NHS. This side really picked it up on that one. So I decided to stomp the pigeon. I got very close. I don't like how high this stage is, because it feels like I had it built specifically for this joke. And I lifted my foot up over the pigeon. There's no pigeon actually there, miss. And I brought it down on its head. Did not mean to stomp that loudly. And the pigeon died. And I felt terrible, which is great. I didn't want to kill it and then feel fucking amazing. I lifted my foot. Felt so sad I had to take a life, but I knew the pigeon was in a better place, up in heaven, shitting on statues. As I walked to my bicycle and picked my bicycle up, I realized my entire grin business had been witnessed by a small boy. I'm gonna say his age was 5, but I don't actually know how old he was. And it would be way creepier if I knew exactly what his age was. Be like, he was 3.5, his name is Noah, but he doesn't know that I know him. And he was just looking at me, I'm looking at him, and that beautiful, sincere cry that only children can elicit just went, "Why'd you do that?" And I don't know why, but I just said, I'm a vegetarian, and I cycled away. As I've thought back to it, I think why I said that is I was so nervous and shocked and awkward, I just thought of anything that was true about me that I could relate to him. And I am a vegetarian, but it's very confusing that he saw me kill an animal and then use that as an excuse. I think it's so confusing that he probably won't grow up to be a vegetarian. Which I gotta be honest with, I'm fine with that happening. As a vegetarian, I hate it. It's one of the worst decisions I've ever made. No one's happy to see a vegetarian. No one at all. A few of you are laughing. The rest of you are just waiting for a speech. Because here's the problem with being vegetarian. No one likes it. Meat eaters that are in here right now are going, oh, here we go. And vegans that are in here are going, after the show, I'm gonna have a word with him. Because here is the thing about vegans, meat eaters. You will be meat eaters, you guys will be vegans. You know why. Now, vegans have no respect for meat eaters, but vegans hate vegetarians because they feel that vegetarians aren't doing enough for the cause. They'll come up with going, how could you do it? How could you keep animals alive and still enjoy their liquids? You lack moral fiber. Well, maybe I do, but you know what tastes better than integrity? Cheese, every fucking day. Have you had brie? Have you fucking had brie? Oh, but our brie has coconuts. Yeah, my brie tastes like cement that's been kissed by an angel, so go fuck yourself. And I am not here to hate on vegans. I am not. That is coming from simply a place of love. It's respect. I cannot be a vegan. I've attempted being a vegan. I cannot do it. I lack the time, because sounded like that stroke just came back. I lack the time management skills to be a vegan. Vegans are able to find hours in the day to scour every item of the ingredient list of the food they're about to imbibe to make sure there's not a wisp of a cow within it. Do you know how difficult that is? Cows are in everything. They're the Samuel L. Jackson of food. They show up when you least expect it, and you're so happy they're there. And if you don't believe me, just think back to when you saw the movie Avengers: Infinity War. The entire time you're sitting there going, there's something missing. And at the end you went, there it is. And I know where the hatred of vegetarianism comes from. I know where it comes from. It comes from the fact that vegetarians, and for a great deal of extent, vegans, our communities are reminders to meat eaters of a great lie all of our parents told us. That great lie was you have to eat your fruits and vegetables. You have to eat them. You have to eat your fruits and vegetables. What a bunch of liars Mom and Dad turned out to be. My friend Bob has never eaten a fruit or a vegetable in his life, and he is still alive. He has hemorrhoids you can see from space, but he's still here. And I'm not, by the way, going like, he doesn't eat fruits and vegetables, but he'll occasionally have a banana. I mean, I once was eating an apple in front of him, and he said, oranges are disgusting. And I paused and I said, what's an apple? And he said, yeah, what's the difference? And I said, well, they're different. They're the basis of difference. That's where that phrase comes from. They're as different as apples and oranges. Have you been going through life thinking that means the same? And then he said yes. And that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And don't sit there thinking I haven't heard some stupid shit. I have lived a life. think the second stupidest thing I've ever heard of once was in a coffee shop, one of those crunchy driftwood jobbies that we're all supposed to hate but secretly fucking love. How much is a latte? Oh, you'll need a mortgage. I'll be back. And I was lying to one of them, and in front of me was sort of two, very ridiculous people. The woman looked like she would hug security guards at a music festival. Do you understand what I'm saying? That was the best reaction that's ever got. And that table looked at each other. And she turned to the man that she was with. She turned to him and just went, "If I was an ice cream flavor, what flavor would I be?" And he, without a pause, just turned back and went, "Stuffed crust." And who predicated this lie upon me? It was my mom and my dad, and I don't hold a lot of ill will to either of my parents. I actually have a lot of love for both of my parents. I love my mom very much. I'm enjoying watching her get older. It's very interesting. She's not going in that traditional sense of getting older and more conservative. Certain things she's really clinging to, other things she's incredibly liberal about. Certain things I didn't think would set her off, totally set her off. Like I'm in love with a woman. We're planning on getting married, but we don't want a wedding. I don't believe in it. She doesn't believe in it. And we thought that was our decision. I found out I was wrong. When I went back to Canada to visit my mom, I walked into my childhood home. She was just stood there going, "I need to see you in the kitchen." I thought there was going to be cake. There was no cake. She just slammed her hands down on the kitchen table and said, "What is this I hear about you and Deirdre?" My girlfriend's name is Deirdre, and she looks exactly what you're picturing right now. Does she work at an app? Of course she does. Thank you. She went, "What's this I hear you and Deirdre are thinking about getting married without a wedding? Do you know what a wedding is, John?" And before I could answer, she said, "I'm going to tell you what it is. A wedding is a commitment ceremony. You're making a commitment to one another. And if you do not have that commitment, do you know what you have, John? You have nothing. Do you want nothing?" She said it with such conviction, I almost forgot she's divorced. And it's just interesting watching certain things she's so intensely conservative about. It's interesting watching the Me Too movement through the lens of my mom. It's been fascinating. Like certain things, she's been saying, "Yeah, lock up that Louis C.K." Other people, she's been defending. She defended Bill Cosby longer than anyone. I agree. That is the correct noise, sir. And may I congratulate another straight white man for joining the movement. Welcome, brother. We'll be taking it over soon. That was a joke. And I don't appreciate this entire section looking at me like I was serious. Just look a bit, I don't know what that was either. And it came down to consent. She had a different idea of what consent was. So we were talking, and she went, "Well, John, if you're a woman and you walk into someone's hotel room, that's you consenting to certain things taking place." And I was like, "Well, that's not true." And I'm a straight white man. I know what consent is. Consent is offered verbally, acknowledged verbally. And I know this because I've had to ask for consent in every sexual relationship I have entered into because I'm an incredibly top-heavy man. So if I go to kiss a woman and they don't want it to happen, gravity is such, I am coming anyway. Which is why I've ruined many a romantic moment by looking deep in a woman's eyes and going, "Madam, I am about to kiss you. If you don't want it to happen, go right, go left, do not remain still. You will receive a headbutt." And then it just devolves into one of those arguments that we've all had if you're in your late 20s or early 30s with someone who's in their late 50s or early 60s, where you come at it with points and salient ideas and a modern sensibility of the world that we're fucking living in, and then they just retort with something that basically boils down to, "Yeah, well, your generation doesn't know what it's talking about because you guys spend 20 pounds on breakfast." And to them I say, "Well, that's how much breakfast costs. And I was told by someone in your generation it was the most important meal of the day." And it's again, please do not think that I'm standing up here and I'm railing against my mom. I love my mother. She's the reason I'm a stand-up comedian. She is the reason you're all hellaciously entertained. Why are you laughing? That was a serious statement. Now, Because she over-encouraged me. You want to make a comedian? You got two paths in front of you. One, you do not love the kid at all. You name it fuck you, and you make it live outside, and in 30 years they will make a fucking Netflix special that will change your life. Or you overlove the kid. I was overloved. Like my mom would bring other family members into my bedroom while I'm asleep. Just come on. Look at him. He's breathing. And he's asleep at 33. Like my entire childhood, the amount of photographs of me, it's startling. Just like any time I would stand up in the bathtub, oh my God, get my camera, quickly, he stood in water. Who else do you know stood in water? Jesus, that's who. He's better than Jesus. And I am better than Jesus. I am. I'm 33, and I made it through March and April just fucking fine. I do have a balance in my personality. If I had had that much love without a balance in my personality, this wouldn't be a comedy show, this would be a rally. And I received that balance at school. I was bullied every day of school. Now here's the problem with me. None of you believe that. You're all sitting there going, were you? I didn't look like this as a kid. My head was the same size, but the rest of me was child size. So what happened was I was bullied every day of my childhood, and then I grew up to look like every bully from every movie ever. And I know this because you, sir, as soon as I said bully, you stopped laughing and started holding your penis as if I was about to punch you in the dick and yell, jocks rule, nerds drool, and leave. And I gotta be honest, my mom was actually very good about dealing with it. She didn't let me dwell on the whole thing. I don't hold on to the trauma. Like I did find out 2 days ago, my biggest bully is now the janitor at my high school. Did I jack off? Twice. It felt fucking fantastic. But that was a true statement, and I feel very uncomfortable sharing it with you. And I'm with the people that didn't laugh and went, that's real, we're uncomfortable. Like she helped me sort of get through it. Like she would never let me dwell on it. I remember one particular case, I was 7 years old, and they'd stolen my shirt and jacket. It's weird that you put on a jacket as soon as I said that, as if to mock me. Well, I wasn't bullied. Are you cold or are you on your way for a walkout? Just cold. It's the problem with the heating in London in particular, is that no heater works. Oh, it'll be hot to the touch, but there'll still be icicles in your bedroom. So whenever you're performing, you just see people putting on coats and you just go, well, I guess I'm not doing that well. And if you're like me and we're overloved, you'll react with a bit of rage, and then they're like, I'm just cold, why are you yelling? So please, remain comfortable and calm, and I understand you're with him, and he's a great man, but a cold soul, so you probably wear that coat a lot. He's fucking laughing! He's having a nice time, sitting there thinking, I make more in a minute than you will in a year. Right? Not quite. You win this round. She helped me find balance in the whole thing. Like I remember I was 7 and they stole my jacket and my shirt, and I was really fucking angry about it. And it was a Batman jacket and I fucking looked good. I remember she threw like pasta in a pot or something, and she was just like, well, John, what happened? And I told her, and she went, don't worry about it. You're gonna grow up one day and none of those people will be around and you don't need to worry about it. Tell me, what do you wanna be when you grow up? And I said, Mom, I wanna be Batman, because Batman gets to hurt the people that hurt him. Now my mom, I feel, went the wrong way. She didn't rush me to a psychiatrist and go, he thinks he can be Batman. She just kneeled down and just said, well, John, you can be whatever you want to be, as long as every day you eat your fruits and your vegetables. And she was a liar. She was a liar. I could never have been Batman. I could never have been Batman. She should have said, you can't be Batman. How much money do you fucking think we have? She She should have been honest about my genetic code. She would, John, you cannot be Batman. Batman is incredibly muscly. Unfortunately, you are 100% English when it comes to your genetic code, and you're not getting muscles, my friend. I understand it's very nervous, but just fucking be honest with yourselves, people of England. I work out every day. There is effort that's been put into this. I used a kettlebell, I did squats, I did yoga with fucking Adrienne, and this is the result of hard fucking work. She should have that very day said, John, you can eat all the fruits and vegetables you want, you can live every fucking kettlebell, do every dietary fad. Here's the problem. Genetically speaking, you're 100% English, so every weight you lift, your body is just going, well, he's preparing for a war. But genetically, he's 100% English, so he'll be in an administrative position. Let's make sure he looks good rising from a table holding a glass of wine. Just put this away before all the ladies get nuts. By how horribly out of shape I am. I bashed England pretty good there. Allow me to apologize. I have no hatred in my heart. Well, not no hatred. I have very little hatred in my heart for English. There's things of England that I love that you guys don't even really like. Like, I love the Queen. I fucking dig her. I'm brainwashed. She's been on the back of every piece of currency I've used every day of my life. So she's always there showing me love when you're making those naughty purchases, like ice cream in the morning or cigarettes. There she is just winking up at you, like, go on. Be cheeky. Do you think Queen Elizabeth knows how much cocaine has traveled over a drawing of her face? Like Phillips told her, right? Just walks in a little chatty after hanging out with Harry. You'll never believe what they're using a drawing of your face for. I understand some of you are a bit sensitive about that, but Philip definitely uses cocaine. How else do you explain that car accident? Thank you. What a beautiful British laugh that just was. You all went, ha, And don't sit there, by the way, thinking you're fucking better than me, because I like Queen Elizabeth. You all like a member of the royal family too. You don't talk about it, but you do. You all fucking love Prince William. You do, because you've all been brainwashed. I love him too. I've been brainwashed. We've been brainwashed by Harry Potter, because Prince William is Harry Potter. He is. He's Harry Potter. He is. He's the son of a dead mother, and him and his ginger pal that he treats like a brother. Look no further than the fact that no one is talking about how badly William is aging. He was in the paper 2 days ago. I've seen pears cope with time better than that man. And I have to be honest. It's nice to be back in London. And I say back in London because in 2016, Brexit happened, and I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. And if you like it, well, fuck you. And no, listen. It changed this fucking country forever. It did. I don't like what it's become. It's become this nation of economic instability. It's become a nation of racial segregation. Racism has been given credence like I haven't seen in my lifetime. And I'm done. I am done with you, England. I'm done. I moved to America. Here's the thing when you now move to America in the modern age and you come back to England, is all of you line up and say things like, well, John, now that you're in America, are you going to do something about their gun problem? No, I'm not. And I can feel like, well, you should, because that's what we do with America's biggest issue, which some of you want to go, well, what about Trump? No, guns are a bigger issue than Trump. They are, and we all, as the world, have decided, here's how we're going to deal with America's issue. We're going to stand at their borders and just go, hey, America! You have a gun problem? Deal with it, please. America! Did you hear that noise? It was a gun. We don't have those where we're from. And America, quite out of stereotype, has dealt with this criticism quite stoically. They've never once turned around and said, hey, rest of the world, would you shut the fuck up about the gun issue? You are aware that 68% of us want very reasonable gun control today. Here's the issue. 32% of us want no gun control at all. And they are armed to the fucking teeth. So we're walking very softly on this issue. And it's amazing. And America is making progress when it comes to gun control. They are making progress. When I wrote this show for Edinburgh in August, that joke, the statistic was 58%. This amount of people who don't want guns in America anymore is 10%. It's growing 10% in 6 months. That's a lot of growth. 10% growth in 6 months. If that was a mole, you'd have it removed immediately. Thank you. And you just have to change your perspective when it comes to gun control in America. Change your perspective. Understand that they do not see the negatives in it. They only see the positives in it because it's been part of their tapestry. Every day they have been a nation. So they do not see the negatives. They only see the positives. And you, England, you actually can relate to them on this topic because you, as a nation, have a problem that has been part of your tapestry since day one that you only see the positives of and you never talk about the negatives of, and that is the consumption of alcohol. I've made 2 pedophile jokes that nearly got a standing ovation. And I just said booze is bad, 8 people laughed, and everyone else just almost left. How can you sit there and think that I am wrong? Do you understand? You're England. Your life expectancy is 70. It's 71 in North Korea and 72 in Syria. Now that's not true, but you all kind of believed it, didn't you? The only person that didn't was that man right there, who is either a doctor or works in the government or has a bit too much time on his hands. But ladies and gentlemen, understand the negative aspects of alcohol has had on your society. All of you are fucking rude. You are. You never say hello to anyone. You never acknowledge anyone. You don't want new friends. You have 4 friends, and that is enough. When I moved here from Canada in 2012, I went around my neighborhood and I knocked on every single one of my neighbors' doors and I introduced myself and I said, "Hi, I'm living in the area. I'm looking forward to getting to know you." I haven't said a joke yet, and you just all laughed at the idea of saying hello to someone that you don't know intimately. So much so, by the way, when I returned to my flat, my flatmate went, "Where were you?" I said I was knocking on the neighbors' doors and introducing myself. And she said, "You shouldn't do that. Only pedophiles do that." Pedophile joke number 3, big laugh. I'm just fucking keeping score. In America, you walk down the road, and you know what you get? Hellos. How are yous? I hope you're having a nice day. And that is because they are aware everyone might be armed to the teeth. And they want them all to have a nice fucking day. It's an amazing thing. And long mocked, by the way, is the English, or better sense, the UK sort of sense of customer service. The United States, oh, you should fucking see it. You walk in, how are you? I'm great. What do you want? What do I want? I once was in a Pizza Hut in Chicago, and it was about noon, but I'd gotten up late because I'd been working late the night before, and I half-heartedly said, "Oh, I could really go for some eggs and bacon." And the server said, "Well, that's not on the menu, but we got eggs, we got bacon, we'll have them fry some up for you." And I went, "Thank you." I once was in Birmingham. I walked into a Pizza Hut and I said, "Do you have pizza?" And they said, "No." I harp on this issue of booze being bad for England because I want them to take it away from you. I do. I want them to do it. Because nothing would unite the United Kingdom. Brexit would be solved in a day. The class system would be wiped away. That rally would truly join Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England all together. All of you marching as one in matching t-shirts. It would be like the biggest stag dude that never even made it to Spain. All of you walking down the road, linking arms, just saying, "They'll never take our booze away." In front of them would be Jeremy Corbyn linking arms with Jacob Rees-Mogg, just going, "How are you? Pretty good. Where'd you get those glasses?" "I don't know, I don't know." And in front of them, fun thing, you don't know which one I'm talking about. Now, doesn't that joke make you feel dirty? In front of them, Boris Johnson and Theresa May clinking gin and tonics. At a certain point, Boris is getting a little flirty. Teresa's going, oh, you can have a bit, because have you seen my husband? But they call him Beige McGillicuddy. And they end up fucking on a picnic blanket with Winston Churchill's face on it. Boris Johnson pulls out and jizzes in the shape of the European Union flag. Here's what I'll say about Boris Johnson, and I think it's a damning indictment of him as a person. The only compliment I could levy on him is, if he jizzes, it's a lot. I'm aware it's a bit tense in here. Don't worry, guys. I've been in a lot of tense situations. Once I was in a lift and someone farted and 2 people claimed responsibility. In the very front of that rally, brothers and sisters, the very front of that rally will be the Queen herself. Glass of Prosecco. She's drunk, flirting with cousins. Like all of our nans do at a wedding, but you know, it's the Windsors, so everyone's like, what are they like? She goes up to a microphone, and she says, to her subjects, for the first time in her reign, all of her subjects are actually committed to her cause. She holds her glass aloft and she says, brothers and sisters, if they want our alcohol, they'll have to pry it from our cold, dead, fucking hands. Then she'll neck it, smash it, and then say, and if they ever try this again, we'll fucking kill them. I know how. We'll get them into a tunnel in Paris. I'll do the rest. It's a little harsh to take, but don't sit there thinking like that's not exactly how that day would go. And I know why a lot of you are off put, because you're going, I've met Americans, John. They were not these polite little helpful angels. They were rude and loud. Yeah, that's because they were visiting here. They were on holiday, and they've never lived in a society where you could be rude and demanding and loud, and they've seen how all of you behave when you go abroad, so they thought they'd give it a go. And I'm sure you're also all going, well, John, if America's so fucking perfect, why haven't they fixed school shootings? They have, and you guys bullied them out of it. They decided, you know what? This is a problem, we're gonna arm the teachers. And the entire world, me included, just sat there going, you can't arm the teachers, because as a society, we've decided that teachers are a bunch of fucking morons. What is the one phrase we use to describe teachers? What would be that one phrase? What would it be?
I mean, you've picked the wrong person, because I'm related to a lot of teachers.
But even how you said that, you said it like that as an insult to you. You picked the wrong person, because I'm related to a lot of the fucking idiots. This is in praise of teachers. I think they're amazing. What do we say about teachers? We say those that can't do, teach. Essentially saying to the people in charge of making sure our kids know how to read, oi, dum-dum, mind the child. I have dreams that haven't been crushed, so fuck you. Teachers are overqualified to deal with firearms. They are responsible. Have you spent any time with children that are not your own? I have. I have nieces and nephews. I spent 45 minutes with the little treasures. And after 20 minutes, I went into the toilet, wrapped a jumper around my hand, and screamed cunt into it so loud it has a smell I can no longer wash up. They are teachers. They are overqualified for firearm use, because you understand that in America, it takes 3 years to be a qualified teacher. In America, it can take as little as 6 months to be a police officer. And they get guns. They get guns. And I'm not sitting here criticizing police, but I know some police officers, and they are fucking dumb. My friend Bob is a cop, and he doesn't know the difference between an apple and an orange. And please do not leave this show thinking that I'm some gun-toting nutball that wants everyone to have a gun. I honestly don't. I think they're the worst invention human beings have ever... That's not true. The worst invention are eyelashes for cars. They're the second worst invention. And by the way, I am a victim of gun crime. I don't want anyone to have guns. I think that they're awful. I think that they're terrible. I don't know why I sat down to drink water. Here's what happened with me getting a gun pulled on me. I was in Porters Lake, Nova Scotia in Canada. I was on stage. I was like a new comedian. I've been going 6 months. So I got this really killer closing bit about vaginas, because I had seen 2 of them at the time. I was a real expert. And so how I'd go into it is I'd point at a woman and go, hey, you have a vagina, right? You're playing the woman in this, right? Yeah. Yeah, non-gender biased casting. It's 2019, you're welcome. So, and I said that to her, and then the man that she was with, played by you, miss, then stood up. You don't need to stand up. I'll do all the lines. Stood up and said, we don't talk to women in this town like that. We shoot people for talking like that. Now, he didn't say it in a fun, boo, 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 boo kind of way. He said it like, I'm gonna fucking shoot you in the face. And I said, okay. And I got off stage and I walked outside because if I'm gonna be killed, I wanna make sure it's difficult to solve. He followed me and he went to his truck to get his gun. Yeah, by the way, truck, stereotypes aren't real, but sometimes they're fucking bang on, aren't they? Like you've never heard someone say, where's my gun? Where's my Prius? I'll be right back. Went to his truck, opened the tailgate, took out a shotgun, pointed it at this knee, and said, you go tell your friends the show is over. And I said, okie dokie, artichoke. And I walked back in, I said, George, Paul, Chris, those are the other comedians, I wasn't naming some Beatles. We gotta go. That guy has a gun. He wants to shoot me. George and Paul were like, yeah, man, let's go. And then Chris said, no, we're not leaving. I was like, what, why? And he said, I'm going on stage, I'm finishing the show. And I was like, but Chris, you're the only one here who has a driver's license. Could you actually go? Remember the shooting I just mentioned? He went, no. The woman who's washing the dishes, she said if I make her laugh one time, she'll eat my asshole. I'm going on that stage. And he did, and I paid 80 Canadian dollars to take a cab to the next town so I wouldn't get shot in the face. Now, as traumatic as it was, knowing that there was a human being, just because of words I said, was willing to end my life, or at the very least, maim me, just because of a word I said, that's haunted me for a lot. I've had to speak to a therapist, but I've gotten over it. What has stayed with me throughout that entire experience is that there's a human being on this planet whose opening sexual salvo is, I will eat your asshole. That is not an opening gambit when it comes to bedroom fun times. That is something you work up towards. You need to save that for when your relationship is about to end. One of you raises your head from finances. You know what? We can't afford a divorce. We're eating each other's assholes from now on. And you will do it, and you go, this is a bit weird. And you might giggle, and then the other person will think, oh, we used to laugh, and you'll get back together. This is why, by the way, all of our grandparents are never honest about what's kept them together for 65 years. We've all gone to our grandparents and asked, what's the secret to your long-lasting relationship? And they always say some bullshit like, never go to bed angry. And then you think, I've seen you guys go to bed. That looked angry. Because if your grandfather was honest with you, if you went, Pop, Pop, what's kept you with Grandma for 60 years? And they'd look like this. And he'd lean in and go, well, every Thursday, she pegs me. Fun fact, the safety word, your first name. Never gotten an applause break on that joke before. Evidently my grandfather's here. Now, I defend America, and I defend America's gun problem because it's my new home. And there, I've been shown nothing but love, respect, and a welcoming, open vibes. As opposed to here, England, my home for almost 7 years. Someone hit me with their fucking car and didn't even stop to say, I'm sorry. And I lay in the road, darkness closing in. My sunglasses had fallen on my face, but still, it was terrifying. Did anyone help? No, the closest I got to help were two Hasidic Jews on the other side of the road. One of them yelled, hey! You got hit by a car! Which, if I do think about it, was somewhat helpful. I do not remember getting hit by that car. And then the other one said, are you going to die? I quickly responded with, no! And then the first one said, get out your mobile phone and call the police! We're Jews! You're a Gentile! We can't help Gentiles unless they're gonna die on the Sabbath! And then they walked away. Yeah, I did. Looked it up, by the way. It's not a rule. So I got out my mobile phone to call the police, dialed 999. Very odd for me to dial 999, because I'm North American, that's our emergency number is 911, 000 for Australians, 112 in most of Europe, unless it's actually 221 in Portugal. It really shows, with the emergency numbers being different in a lot of places, that no community really wants outsiders. Do you know what happens if you dial 911 in England? Someone just picks up the phone, laughs, says good luck, and then hangs up again. And I was fucking nervous calling because my Hasidic Jewish friends had said, call the police. Now, I had an injury, I had a broken elbow, and it was a car accident. I didn't think I needed the police, I needed an ambulance. So I was a bit nervous if I said, hey, I need the police for a broken elbow, and the operator said, you don't need the police for a broken elbow, you need an ambulance. Who told you need the police for that? Well, in this situation, my only recourse would be to say, well, the Jews told me. As it turned out, by the way, you're supposed to ask for the police in any emergency situation in London because police cars can move faster through the packed streets than ambulances, which is information that they should tell us, as opposed to just letting the Hasidic Jews know and having them spread it around their very closed community. Police arrived. Not the best bedside manner I've ever received. It wasn't a, you're gonna be okay. It was just one officer from East London going, you're fucked, get in the car. They drove me to Homerton Hospital and they walked me into A&E. If you take anything away from this show, it's this. If you ever have the opportunity to be escorted into A&E by the police, take it. It's like being in the first class of a hospital. There's no lines. People look at you and just go like, oh, you could take my spot in the queue. I'm hurt, but I'm not so wounded, it's illegal. And they brought me to the desk, and they checked me in. I didn't check me in, they checked me in. And they said my name's like John Hastings, and then they gave my age, and they gave the type of injury, and then one of them leaned in and just went, oh, and he was dizzy, and he vomited. Now, I hadn't been dizzy, nor had I vomited, and I kind of like reached out to stop him, and he went, huh? Which is the universal sign of, I'm lying, stop it. And they filled out the forms and they gave them to the orderly person. And as they were walking away, the cop who had lied just tapped me on the knee and just went, hey, if you're ever at the A&E, always say you were dizzy and you vomited. That way you go to the top of the line. And I sat there thinking, oh, what a great way to hack the system, officer of the law. And I didn't wait long. I waited 5 minutes, and my doctor came out. Now, it wasn't the doctor I was expecting. I want like an old, grizzled man with an eye patch who just sort of comes out. He's missing an arm, but he's made his own. And instead I got like some 20-something, didn't even introduce himself as Dr. Carruthers. He just went, sup. He didn't say sup. It was implied that he wanted to say sup, and he'd been told not to do that during a performance review. He walked out and went, hello, I'm Ryan. And my initial reaction was just like, well, fuck you, Ryan. I'm here for a doctor. I'm not here to buy weed at a music festival. And I'm angry at myself for reacting this way. We're the same generation. He's a millennial, I'm a millennial. I know the pressures that are on our shoulders being millennials. It's fucking tough being a millennial. Do you understand how hard it is to pretend Airbnb is better than a hotel? It's not better than a hotel. I've never been on a romantic getaway with my girlfriend and turned her, oh baby, get your lips ready for dick sucking. We are staying at a stranger's house. And he was a good doctor. He was on it. He was young. He was hungry. If I had been with an old, grizzled, 75-year-old doctor, your elbow's broken, we'll just kill you. Not him. He went over every aspect of my chart. As we're walking to radiology to get my elbow x-rayed, he stopped and went, wait, when were you dizzy and when did you vomit? And I had to be honest and went, oh, that never happened. The police lied. And he went like this. He went, huh, like, oh, they got me again. I've been bullied too, Ryan, come here. Fruits and vegetables, that's the key. Got into radiology. Took an x-ray of my elbow. It was bad. This is how bad it was. Radiologist took a selfie with my x-ray. Never gotten bad news so quietly before. And I was rushed into surgery. I had the surgery, and the surgery was deemed a success. Yeah, they called this a success. Now, this is not the elbow that was repaired. It's this one. I agree. That doesn't look like a success, does it? And by the way, this scar wasn't just from the surgery. They had to go back in because I got something called an excess of joint lube in the socket. Now that's a collection of words that I'm fine with if they're kept separate. But together, no thank you. Be like if someone said, quickly, get me my potato salad vagina bazooka. What are you doing? I'm winning a war. And the show was written for the Edinburgh Festival. It got inflamed in July. The Edinburgh Festival is in August. If you don't know that, well, I guess the center of the world isn't Edinburgh Festival, which to all the industry in here, I'm sure are shocked. That was them laughing for the first time. Now, I went in with this elbow. You can see a bit of the remnants of it right there. Makes it look like my elbow has a nose. And I had to take an inflamed, swollen elbow back to Ryan. And I think, what is this? And he went, you have an excess of joint lube in the socket. And I was like, just never say that again. And I said, what do we do about it? And he was like, well, I have to open it up and drain it. And I had to say, Ryan, can this wait until September? I have the Edinburgh Festival. I've been talking about it on stage. It's been getting a lot of laughs. And he said it in the most beautifully dry doctor way. He just looked at me, eyes rolling, just went, well, laughter is the best medicine. It's not a medicine. He had to go back in and do emergency surgery. But laughter is important. It was important for what we did tonight. If you guys hadn't laughed for the last hour, I'd have to get a job tomorrow. And it's not to say that I'm not qualified for anything else. I haven't done anything else for 14 years. I was a telemarketer for 4 days. Here's what happened. On the fourth day, a call came into my headset, and I went right into the pitch. Hi, it's John Hastings calling from and the guy at the other end of the line went, John, I don't want what you're selling. And how about you go fuck your mother? Now, I think you're all aware. I love my mother very much, and I feel she should be treated with respect. Now, when I was a younger man with the balance and control of my emotions, if you wronged me in a certain way, I would react with rage and anger and threats. This was one of those situations. And I responded with, well, guess what, fuckface? I have a gun and your address, and I'm coming to fucking kill you. Now, I forgot my supervisor was listening in. He ran over, hung up the call, and looked at me and said, so John, I was monitoring that last call. And then he affected that beautiful middle management voice. Now, what do we think you did wrong? And I looked at him honestly. I said, boss, I don't think I should have told him I was coming.